Welcome back. We'll start with a new topic, disposal of waste. What is solid waste? The term solid waste includes garbage, rubbish, and demolition products, sewage treatment residues. See, under garbage, it is food waste, and rubbish means paper, plastics, wood, metal, throwaway containers, glass, and under demolition products, it is bricks, masonry, and pipes. Under sewage treatment residue, it is sludge and solids from the coarse screening of domestic sewage. And there can be a dead animals, manure, and other discarded material. It should not contain night soil. Night soil means stool. Okay. The output of daily waste depends upon the dietary habits, lifestyles, living standards, and the degree of urbanization and industrialization. That is 0.25 to 2.5 kg daily. That is called solid waste. Okay. Solid waste, if allowed to accumulate, is a health hazard because if you are storing in a particular place for longer period, it is a hazard because it decomposes and favors fly breeding. There will be a flea breeding. It attracts rodents and vermin. The pathogens which may be present in the solid waste may be conveyed back to man's food through fleas and dust. There is a possibility of water and soil pollution and heaps of refuse present and unsightly. So there may be a pollution, there may be a disease-causing agents. So we should not accumulate in a particular place for a longer duration. It should be thrown away. Therefore, in all civilized countries, there is an efficient system for its periodic collection, removal, and final disposal without a risk of health. So, which are the sources of refuse? First one, street refuse, that is, refuse that is collected by the street cleansing service or scavenging is called street refuse. Okay. Second one is market refuse. It is collected from markets, and stable litter, it is collected from stables, and industrial refuse, it comprises a wide variety of waste ranges from completely inert materials such as calcium carbonate to highly toxic and explosive compounds. So whatever industrial wastes are called industrial refuse. The domestic refuse consists of ash, rubbish, and garbage. So those are the sources. And the storage, second one, the galvanized steel dustbin with closed fitting cover is a suitable receptacle for storage of refuse. So where you can store is galvanized steel dustbin. In the dustbin you can store it. The capacity of a bin will depend upon the number of users and frequency of collection. The output of refuse per capita per day in India is estimated to vary from 1 by 10 to 1 by 20 cubic feet of refuse are stored per day. Okay. For a family of 5 members, a bin having capacity of 5 by 10 or 1 by 2 cubic feet would be needed. If collection is done once in 3 days, a bin having capacity of 1.5 or 2 cubic feet would be adequate. So good storage should be there with the lid covering the bin. A recent innovation in the Western countries is the paper sack. Paper sack is used to collect the storage, refuse. Next, the third one is public bins. You can see near the street. Public bins cater for a larger number of people. They are usually without cover in India and are kept on a concrete platform raised 2 to 3 inches above ground level to prevent flood water entering the bins. In bigger municipalities, the bins are handled and emptied mechanically by lorries fitted with cranes. So here you can see near the street, you can see these type of bins. Next, collection. The method of collection depends upon the funds available. House-to-house collection is by far the best method of collecting refuse. Okay, house-to-house collection will be. People are expected to dump the refuse in the nearest public bin, which is usually not done. The collection methods normally practiced in this country need drastic revision and improvement in the interest of better hygiene. All must put this refuse in the public bin so that the whichever agency are collecting this refuse will it is easy for them to collect. The Environmental Hygiene Committee, which is set in 1949, recommended that municipalities and other local bodies should arrange for collection of refuse. The open refuse carts should be abandoned and replaced by enclosed vans. Mechanical transport should be used wherever possible, as it is more practical and economical than a 19th century method. So, here open refuse carts should be needed in near the street to collect the refuse, and mechanical transport is best rather than carrying. There is a wide variety of refuse collection vehicles of all shapes and sizes. The latest arrival in the Western countries is the dustless refuse collector, which has a totally enclosed body. So, where the collection body or truck we can call, that will collect the refuse, and it is enclosed tightly. There will be no spillage of any dirt or any refuse. That is called dustless refuse collector. So, there are many methods of disposal. Those are the principal method of refuse disposals are dumping, controlled tipping, or also called as sanitary landfill, incineration, composting, manure pits, burial. So the choice of particular method is governed by the local factors such as cost and availability of land and labor. So based on the availability of factors, these methods will be identified and used. First, what is dumping? The refuse is dumped in low-lying areas partly as a method of reclamation of land, but mainly as an easy method of disposal of dry refuse. As a result of bacterial action, refuse decreases considerably in volume and is converted gradually into humus. So it is dumping is actually a not good method, because you are throwing the refuse in a particular area. Due to bacterial action, this will be reduced into the manures. Okay. So the WHO expert committee, which is set in 1967, it is condemned dumping as a most insanitary method that creates public health hazards, nuisance, and severe pollution of the environment. So even the WHO said it is not a good method of refuse disposal. The drawbacks of open dumping are: the refuse is exposed to fleas and rodents. It's a source of nuisance from the smell and unsightly appearance. The loose refuse is dispersed by the action of the wind, and drainage from the dumps contribute to the pollution of surface and groundwater. So it is just all the refuses will be on the surface of the land. So it can be distributed around the land, and it can pollute the nearby storage of water sources, water bodies. Second one is controlled tipping. Controlled tipping or sanitary landfill is the most satisfactory method of refuse disposal where suitable land is available. It differs from ordinary dumping in that the material are placed in a trench or other prepared area, adequately compact and covered with earth at the end of the working day. The term modified sanitary landfill has been applied to those operations where compaction and covering are accomplished once or twice a week. So controlled tipping means you will dump the refuse by taking a trench, and afterwards you will cover it with the sand or soil, that's also called as earth. Okay, you are covering the refuse with the earth is called controlled tipping. Here one more term is there, modified sanitary landfill. It is applicable to those operations where compaction and covering are accomplished once or twice a week. So if it is done, the compaction or covering of the refuse is done once or twice a week, then it is called as modified sanitary landfill. So under this method there are three methods, sub-methods. Okay, first one is the trench method. Here, where level ground is available, this is done. A long trench is dug out, that is 2 to 3 meters or 6 to 10 feet deep and 4 to 12 meters wide. Depending upon local condition, the refuse is compacted and covered with excavated earth. So in the trench method, you are digging the hole like 2 to 3 meters deep and 4 to 12 meters wide. and you will dump all the refuse. Then you will cover it with the earth. Next one is the ramp method. This method is well suited where the terrain is moderately sloping. Okay, here when the earth is slope, okay, when the earth is slope or a land is slope, you are using the ramp method. Uh, so here you will dispose the refuse, then you will cover it with the earth. That is ramp method. Area method, third one is, this method is used for filling land depressions, disused quarries and clay pits. So if the land is not used or old well or something, or some hole is there, then you are using it as a refuse disposal area. You are filling it with that refuse and you will cover it with the earth. The refuse is deposited, packed and consolidated in uniform layers up to 2 to 2.5 meter deep. So in the layer wise you are filling the refuse and you are covering with the soil. Each layer is sealed on its exposed surface with a mud cover at least 30 centimeters thick. Okay? Such sealing prevents infestation by fleas and rodents and suppresses the nuisance of smell and dust. So each layer, first you will put the refuse, then you will cover it with mud or soil. Again you will put the refusal, then again you will cover it with the soil. Such sealing will prevent the smell, dust or infestation of fleas and rodents. This method often has the disadvantage of requiring supplemental earth from outside sources. So you need the proper earth here. Okay, area you need to have this to do this area method. The chemical, bacteriological and physical changes occur in buried site. The temperature rises to over 60 degrees Celsius with 7 days and kills all the pathogens and hastens the decomposition process. So here all the pathogens will be died because when you cover it with the layer, the layer of mud and refuse, so here the temperature rises up to 60 degrees Celsius and all the pathogens will die here. Then it takes 2 to 3 weeks to cool down. Normally it takes 4 to 6 months for complete decomposition of organic matter into an innocuous mass. So after 4 to 6 months, if you see that, it will convert into humus or a manure. The bulldozer achieves the task of spreading, trimming and spreading the topsoil. So you can use the JCB or a bulldozer to do this activity. Next one is incineration. Incineration is, it is burning or turning into ashes. Disposing hygienically by burning or incineration, it is method of choice where suitable land is not available. If the land is not available, you can go into the incineration method. Hospital refuse, which is particularly dangerous, is best disposed by incineration method. Hospital refuse disposed by this method. A preliminary separation of dust or ash is needed to separate all the refuse produced in the hospital. All this involves heavy outlay and expenditure besides manipulative difficulties in the incinerator, loss to the community in terms of the money. So here in the incineration, you should separate it, and afterwards there is manual power is needed to do this work, incineration. Okay, you have to separate the refusal, to put in the separate incinerator. There is difficulties, okay, manipulative difficulties. So this is what it looks like, incinerator. Next one is composting. It is a method of combined disposal of refuse and night soil or sludge. Okay, here you are disposing the night soil or sludge. It's a process of nature whereby organic matter breaks down under bacterial action, resulting in the formation of relatively stable humus-like material called the compost, which has considerable manurial value for the soil. Okay, here after composting means you are using night soil or a sludge to convert into manure or a compost, then you can use in the agricultural field. The principal byproducts are carbon dioxide, water and heat. Here products which will be seen. The principal products are carbon dioxide, water and heat. after the composting. The following methods of composting are now used. First one is Bangalore method. Here, anaerobic method it is. Okay. Second one is mechanical composting, that is aerobic method. First one is Bangalore method. Here, trenches are dug 90 centimeter deep and 1.5 to 2.5 meter broad and 4.5 to 10 meter long. Okay, 10 centimeter deep. 90 centimeter deep. That is 3 feet deep. 5 to 8 feet broad and 15 to 30 feet height or long, depending upon the amount of refuse and night soil is to spread down or disposed of. The pits should be located not less than 800 meters from city limits. It should be away, 800 meters away from the city. Okay, this Bangalore method. Here, the composting procedure is as follows. First, a layer of refuse about 15 centimeter thick is spread at the bottom of the trench. First, you will spread the 15 centimeter of refuse. Over this, night soil is added corresponding to a thickness of 5 centimeter. After refuse, you are adding night soil up to 5 centimeter or 2 inches. Then alternate layers of refuse and night soil is added in the proportion of 15 centimeter and 5 centimeter respectively. First you will add 15 centimeter refuse, again 5 centimeter night soil, again you will add 15 centimeter refuse and 5 centimeter night soil, like that. Okay, till the heap rises to 30 centimeter above the ground level. Above the ground level, it should come 1 feet above the ground level. Okay? The top layer should be of refuse at least 25 centimeter thickness. Over like top layer above the ground, it should not be night soil, it should be refuse at least 25 centimeters. Then the heap is covered with the excavated earth. Afterwards, the heap will be formed. Okay, this will be covered with the earth or soil. If properly laid, a man's legs will not sink when walking over a compost mass. Okay? If properly tightly it is covered, then if you walk on that, your leg will not be sink down. Second one is mechanical composting. The refuse is first cleared of salvageable materials such as rags, bones, metal, glass and items which are likely to interfere with the grinding operation. So here all the refuse is removed with the all solid material like rags, bones, metal, glass and other items. It is then pulverized in the pulverizing equipment in order to reduce the size of particles to less than 2 inches. It is like grinded. Okay? It is grinded to not less than 2 inches. Less than 2 inches. The entire process of composting is complete in 4 to 6 weeks. Then you are kept for the composting. It may take 4 to 6 weeks. That is called mechanical composting. You are grinding. You are taking the refuse. You are removing the solid material. Then you will grind it and you will start for the composting. Next one is manure pits. The problem of refuse disposal in rural areas can be solved by digging manure pits by the individual householders. So each house can have this manure pits. The garbage, scattered dung, straw and leaves should be dumped into the manure pits and covered with the earth after each day's dumping. So you are using manure pits, you will whatever daily refuse is produced, you are putting in that and you are covering it with the mud or soil. 2 such pits will be needed. When one is closed, the other will be used. In 5 to 6 months time, the refuse is converted into manure which can be returned to the field. So after 5-6 months, you can remove that manure. Then you can use it in the agricultural field. That is manure pit. Next, burial. This method is suitable for small camps. A trench 1.5 meter wide and 2 meter deep is excavated, and at the end of each day, the refuse is covered with a 20 to 30 centimeter of earth. So here 1.5 meter wide and 2 meter deep excavated or a hole is dug. Then you are putting all the waste in that and you are covering it with the soil. When the level in the trench is 40 centimeter from ground level, the trench is filled with earth and compacted, and a new trench is dug out. So when it is 40 centimeter from the ground level, below ground level, the trench is filled with the earth. Okay, or the whatever hole you dug, you are filling it with the soil. Then again new trench is dug out. So that's all about the or the waste disposal method, we will see in the next class.